What is up, guys? Matt here coming at you with another quick video. This one, we're going to go brushless in one of these TRX4Ms. Furitek was nice enough to send over this micro Komodo with their motor mount, basically, that adapts it to fit the TRX4M. And then they sent this little adapter so that you can use the stock Traxxas battery if you want. That's really cool also. So I needed, to do this, you will need also a brushless ESC. And I didn't have an extra one laying around, so I picked this up at Asylum in Clarksville. Shout out to them if anybody's around that area in Indiana. Grabbed this up there. Was also able to finally find one of these. So if you guys want to see a video on that, the install or something, let me know. But so you will need a brushless ESC, something like the Lizard Pro, the Ultimate, something like that. And then you'll also need your own receiver and transmitter if you're going to go this route. So just kind of wanted to make it clear, this motor is not going to run off of the stock ESC. It is nice that they're going to have these adapters that you can plug into like the Lizard and use your stock battery. So that's one less thing you got to buy if you are just running the TRX4M. So I'm not going to go brushless with either one of those. I'm going to bring out this thing that I've kind of been fiddling with for a while. Haven't really showed this one because I wonder what those look like. I don't know. We'll see. I pulled the wheels and tires off and used them on another rig. This one, I believe, actually. But so I've been playing around with this thing, and I put the crawler gears in this, and it crawled really well with the stock system, but I didn't have the wheel speed that I wanted. So I thought, let's play around. Let's put the FMS speed motor in there, the brush speed motor from FMS. Maybe gain some wheel speed back with the crawler gears, hopefully be able to crawl decent. So I did that. Do not like this setup at all. It just doesn't crawl well. So I'm kind of back to, I'm going to rip this out and we're going to go with this now and see what we can do. I was running the speed motor off of the stock Traxxas ESC. It was not good. So I thought, well, maybe if I put like the Ultimate in there, we can smooth it out a little bit. And it really didn't help me any. The gearing is just not right with this motor. It just don't work. I'm just going to tell you now, it just don't work. So I'm going to tear this out, install this thing, and hopefully we're going to be a lot smoother now. I'm going to leave this in here, the Ultimate. I actually picked this up for another build. So we'll get to that hopefully very soon. All right, so let's get to this install. I'm going to pull this tray. I actually just kind of put this in here to hold the body. This is off an FCX24, but the way I was doing this kind of hooks on the tray back here pretty well. And if you stretch it over and then push it down, like, it holds pretty good. It's not really my permanent fix just yet. I knew I still was going to be pulling this apart, changing the motor and stuff. So we're going to get this out of the way and then work on our motor. So I was planning to show like this motor, speed of it, the slow crawl of it, all of that. But honestly, I just do not like this setup. Did not like it at all. The speed of it was decent. I mean, it was probably a little more than, say, stock, but the slow crawl was terrible. It would slow crawl okay with the Ultimate in there, but it still, when you would get to a rock, it just wanted to leap over it. You know, you couldn't like slow crawl up over it. So that's why I'm just doing away with this. And I didn't really even show it on the channel. So Furitek is supposed to be having a brass pinion, I think, to start with on this. So I think they will be coming with that. Mine didn't. I'm just reusing the stock one for now. I did find some pinions that I think will work well with this. I will try to update on that. I ordered a couple of them, so we'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm going to see how this needs to fit, how far that needs to be up on the shaft of the motor there. And then I will probably glue this one as well. I definitely will glue this one. So you're going to pull the two screws that were holding your motor before. This is going to come with two that are longer. So it looks like, to me, if you put that pinion basically flush with the end of the motor there, motor shaft, it's going to line up. I don't think you guys will have to even worry about that. I think it's going to have the pinion on the motor, but just in case, it's easy enough. All right, so I let the glue dry for a minute. It's don't feel too bad. And so now I'm gonna start stacking gears back in here, if I can remember how they go. Cover's back on. Probably want to check everything turns nice and smooth. Put these screws back in the drive shafts, and we'll slap this thing back in. All right, so you can see how I've got this thing laid out. Stock, you're basically, everything's gonna be the same. This is just gonna bolt straight in to where your stock motor is now. You won't have to change any of the layout. I just did that on this because it's just kind of a custom build. I'm using that body, but it'll bolt straight in where this motor is. You can see you got tons of room there from this big 180 motor. So dropping down to that micro Komodo, nothing to it. You won't have to change anything like I did here. Now, with this moved like it is, the only bad thing I don't like is I have battery, ESC receiver all back here towards the back. It's really kind of centered in the lowest spot, really, so that's good. Possibly going to need a little more weight up front. I do have some of the golf weights around the inside of these beadlock rings. I'm probably going to build some of these MAZ wheels maybe for this. These are some really nice wheels. I'll show those again maybe when I get them started building these, but they've got the brass ring, so I think those look good on there. But I already had these together and I wanted to kind of get this thing running. So the way it sits, it was like 53 front, 47 rear. So it's really not bad. It's not far from the 60/40, and hopefully soon some people are going to start making us some maybe brass like knuckles or something like that for the front of this thing. Even just a diff cover would get me a little more weight there, kind of get me more towards the 60/40. But I think, I haven't even tried this. Hopefully all this is still gonna fit, tight fit, but that means it's not gonna go anywhere. So we should be pretty good there. May have to adjust a little bit. May have to chop this frame off a hair. Really, I can just grind that off a little bit. I was trying to not cut the chassis on this because I wasn't so sure I was going to leave it like it is. But if this motor runs nice and smooth, I may be good with leaving this setup exactly as it is. So I may go ahead and cut that off so that fits a little cleaner. If I did that, I could actually probably move this, drop that body a little bit more even. But we'll have to see. I want to leave enough clearance for the servo. You can see as I bottom the shock out, it's just hitting that plate. So I'm going to run with this for now until we get some better options like some sliders and stuff like that for this thing. But let's plug this up and see how it runs. So I kind of like having the battery and everything under this strap because it's definitely not going to go anywhere. If you want to run the stock battery, Furitek has these, so you can just plug this into your ESC, your Lizard, Pro, Ultimate, whatever. Plug that in, then you can run the stock battery. You can see I'm not running the stock. I'm going to save these just to run in these that I'm going to leave basically stock because they're huge. So most of my rigs, I always get people asking, what's that little blue battery? These are just the Palm Powers, Palm Beach bots, and just a little 180 pack, but a whole lot better than that. So that's what I'm going to run in here. So I will save that connector maybe for something else I do. It's nice to have though. It's really nice to have. All right, so I do like my button to the Ultimate is right there in the back. Easy to get to. I did bump this servo to 6 volt, I think, instead of 5. We'll see how long stock servo lasts, but it is a little more peppy now. And check this out. Without any changes, I did nothing to the settings. Look at that crawl. That's what I've been waiting for in this thing. Look at that transition. Wow. Okay, let's try it again. This is 3S battery. Bump it up a little bit. Look at that transition, pretty dang smooth. And we got wheel speed. Nice. That is sweet. All right, let's go compare wheel speed versus stock truck versus slow crawl gears. All right, so the orange truck has everything stock as far as transmission and stuff. It has the crawler gears in it with the Furitek on 3S. This is the stock truck, stock everything, Defender, stock gearing, stock everything. Ah, yes. So this Furitek is even faster than the stock truck on 3S. Now, 2S is going to be a little different. All right, so we're stock battery, crawler gears in the white Bronco, stock everything else. We now have a 2S LiPo in here with the Furitek system. So let's see what we got. Oh, sweet. So big difference even on 2S. So if you're just running 2S with the Furitek Micro Komodo, you've got the slow crawl and way more wheel speed than the stock system with crawler gears. So very nice. Very excited to drive this thing now. All right. 100% stock Defender, stock battery, stock everything, stock gears. You know we've got decent wheel speed stock out of the box. The torque is what suffers. 2S with the Furitek system, Micro Komodo now. So stock truck is just a little bit faster on 2S with the stock gearing, but we don't have the torque really that I like with the stock truck. So the ability to go 3S with this and still have the torque and the slow crawl is what I was looking for. So very nice. And not a big difference there. So this Micro Komodo is exactly what I was looking for this truck. You can see the slow crawl is great. The torque is great. Wheel speed is great. On 3S, it's going to do pretty much anything. You know, when I get outdoors with it, I'll see a little more how the wheel speed does, because, you know, you get steeper climbs and just bigger hills and that sort of thing. But on the indoor course here, it did great. Didn't have any issues not having wheel speed anywhere. This thing drives like a 24. I mean, honestly, this custom build right here with this half cab body is actually smaller than some of my 24 builds that are, you know, stretched and widened and that sort of thing. So this thing's pretty dang nimble, you know, with the turning radius on these axles. It's crazy how well this thing turns and moves on the course. So this is a really good custom build. I feel like just a little more weight up front and it'll be an absolute performer. And it's 100% stock TRX4M besides this motor, ESC, you know, the electronics, but stock servo still in there. Stock axles, links. I did make some high clearance rear links. They are not necessary really, but I wanted to gain just a little bit of clearance there. And overall, this thing is running amazing. Like I said, the Furitek was exactly what it needed. So you can see the course. I've added some stuff to it. Pretty happy with the layout. I tried to keep it fairly simple to where, you know, anybody can come in here with a stock truck, slightly modded truck, whatever, and enjoy it. I can easily test stock trucks on this course. You know, there's nothing insanely hard. There's a couple spots that are a little bit harder. It'll be maybe good for testing some tires and stuff. But it gives me a good just kind of base to test things on. All of this stuff here is kind of new. I just piled this stuff in, really just trying to lay it out and make something, and having fun with it. The cool thing is, you know, I can always just change it up, move stuff around, and do whatever I want with it. So if I get burnt out on it, I'll change it up. But, you know, my goal was to build it to where I could run just even a basic trail truck, can do some lines on here as well. And, you know, this truck is technically an 18th scale, and it really, I've said from the very first moment I drove the TRX4M that it drove like a 24. You know, it's very nimble, even with the stock bodies, which are bigger. The Bronco especially drives very much like a 24 scale. And so that's what I'm really enjoying about this truck, getting this motor in here, because now I have the perfect feel on the electronics, the motor and ESC and everything. The throttle is great. It feels so good. It's just nice getting a Furitek in this. So I may possibly upgrade the servo. It's pretty decent, the Traxxas stock one. You know, I haven't really had it struggle, but I've kind of gotten used to the OGRC or the AGFRC, and so there's a little bit to be desired. But this motor is perfect for this truck. Just like take a stock truck, toss this in it, change your ESC, put your own receiver in there, and you've got a really good contender. You know, all I've done to this truck is these wheels and tires besides that, and I made some rear high clearance links, which aren't necessary. I just did it to gain a little bit of clearance, but and you can see this thing runs pretty well. So I think this offering from Furitek is just pushing the TRX4M even farther, you know, and can't wait to see some of the custom builds that come out of all this stuff that we're starting to get for the TRX4M, and overall loving this build. So you can see I got some construction still going on. I got the mini excavator out there. Really excited about that. That was kind of a Black Friday pickup for me. I really wanted one of those that was decent for a while now, and that one's pretty cool. It does pretty well. So if you guys want to see a video on that, maybe I'll do a video on it. Just kind of been playing around, having fun with it, but enjoying this course and kind of building it a little bit in stages with the excavator, you know, putting some finishing touches on and stuff. That's pretty fun for me. So this motor and mount is $40, you know, so that's really good, I feel like, for the motor and mount. Then you do got to have your brushless ESC and your own transmitter and stuff. So, you know, Lizard Pro is about $80, so you're going to be $120 in. I know that's almost the price of the truck. And the TRX4M is really good stock, but this is if you just want to go to the top. Like, this is the best offering, in my opinion. And so, you know, you pay for what you get. You know, if you want the best, like, that's just part of it. But really good setup. Not saying you absolutely have to do it. Like, the Traxxas is pretty dang good, but I do feel like stock gearing on that truck, it really suffers on the torque. You know, I'd get it in some places and it just almost kind of gets stuck, and then it gets that wind up to the motor. You hear it, and then it just kind of like leaps over stuff. And then you put the crawler gears in and you lose the wheel speed. So this is just if you want the best, period. You know, so maybe it's worth it to you, maybe it's not. For me, it's worth it. You know, I'm one of those people that, you know, I don't care a whole lot what it costs if I want the best. You know, I do try to save pennies and pinch them here and there and try to save you guys money when I, you know, can find something that works that's cheap or whatever. But when it comes to electronics, it's really hard to skimp. Like, it just really is. You know, you definitely pay for what you get, and maybe there's other options out there, but the simplicity of this setup is well worth the money. It's so easy to toss in, and it's so smooth. You know, you may need your own transmitter. I recommend the GT5. I use it for everything still. I have the G7P from FlySky. I have the FlySky Noble, and I still just really like that GT5 and use it a lot. I have two of them. I have so many models on it. You can hold like 19 models, I think, on one. And so I had to branch out and pick up another one. But, you know, those you can get them for around $60 now, probably on sale. Once you get it, you can run everything on it. So maybe the initial investment is a lot for some, but in the end, well worth it. And this motor combo is just top of the line for this truck. So you guys let me know what you think about it. I got a new motor from Furitek I'm going to be showing off. Really cool. In a completely new build, something that is just like really cool. You guys know, if you watch Texoma RC, he's got some really cool custom chassis. I've got one. Super excited to build that. Just working on getting the time, doing a little bit here and there as I can. If you don't watch his channel, go check it out. He's got some really cool stuff. So I appreciate everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, click the bell. It just helps out. And I'll link everything in the description for you guys. I really appreciate everybody. Peace.